you gotta maintain your composure and act like you've been there before, right? And
Exactly.
you can't just be one of them chasers. You gotta just know where you at. You know what you need to protect, and that's if you're willing to protect it. If you're not, then you should just let that other individual go and be single. Then, if you can't control yourself out there.
Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, yo, yo! What do you know? Welcome to the Bowl Podcast. Shout out to Hustle Five Ways for hosting, as always. I'm your host Naz,
You got Tallman live from Dubai.
and as always, in the Bowl Podcast is sponsored by your nation's own number one mobile hookah provider, C2U, where they not only do private events, they do wholesale distribution and take that experience to that next level. What's happening? What's going on?
Not too much, man. What's going on? Coming off that 3-day weekend. 4th of July. I guess summer is officially in full swing. What's going on your side?
Full swing. I mean, shit. I even had to pop out the watermelon and mint hookah tonight. And had to bring out the summertime flavor. So it's cooling.
Man, I can dig it, man. I can dig it. So what's going on?
Nothing as always. Before though, before we even get into that, we gotta do our celebratory toast.
You
Another
know it.
day, another episode.
Cheers.
Not much, man. We just touched down, about to turn right back around and head out. About to go get some sand in our toes and getting the little lady. She already got some freaking flyer miles, so she's good. She's chilling. you know,
Oh
so
man.
life is good though, man. Life is great, man. We're just chilling, cooling out, man. Getting ready for the early flight in the morning. What
Oh
about you? What you
yeah.
got?
Oh man, not too much, man. Still coming off this 4th of July holiday weekends. We had 4 days off here, so we had Friday off. So it was a long weekend. It was a good weekend, but a long weekend. We got another long weekend coming up. So they about to spoil me with these 3 and 4 day weekends, man. Because when it comes time to work a full week of work again, I'm truly going to be at a loss. My body's getting used to sleeping in a little bit. So we'll see. But no complaints, man. So how was your fourth?
It was cool, man. I will sit there and say though, the fourth always just reminds you. You know what I'm saying? I think people have a firework fund or something like that, right? I'm trying to tell you, I don't know what was going on the other night. I mean, it's still going on now. So you probably hear some folks just having a ball outside. I think they just got a whole basement full of fireworks, man. That thing 4th of July was crazy.
Yeah, everybody stocks up that couple weeks before 4th of July, man. You're gonna hear them things till Labor Day.
Stock up, man. Stock up. That thing was crazy. I was outside at M80. They had the little bottle rocket. I don't know. Some people had some pretty intense ones too. I was sitting there like, well, damn. All right, well, let it go. Nah, but it was cool though. The fourth was chill, man. We kept it real light. Try to just relax and rest and just chill with the home squad and just kicked it, man. Just kicked it. It felt good, man. It felt real good just to kick our feet up, especially knowing we about to get right back out on the road. Getting those skies.
Yeah,
It was cool.
oh, man, it makes sense, man. You need that downtime. I know one thing that 4th of July is going to be good for is you're going to see some wild videos on social media with fireworks, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I tried to scroll past a lot of things, but some things I had to watch a few times, had to double tap a few. I think that that backup Terry video I think that that will be always known, with Fourth of July, because I could have sworn that I saw that video reposted at least 15 or 20 times. The backup Terry, man, and that was that was a classic. Shows you everything that you should not be doing on Fourth of July, man. And since we have that out there, it seems like some folks are still good for making the Fourth of July quite comical. From people riding down the street, shooting off fireworks to fireworks, going in different directions, about to hit Bama's houses. It's just
Yeah.
it's always been something, and it's crazy because I saw something that it kind of had me laughing, but it was really serious. It was like, why do we have a full day of drinking and then decide we want to light fireworks? It's like the two of those together just it's a recipe for a good story. I hope that nobody was hurt or sustained any injuries, because that's always the downside of it, and it's the risk of
Hmm.
lighting fireworks. But I just saw just some wild things, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, people blowing off limbs. You know what I'm saying? I think fireworks is cool. And I don't know. I just think that like you said, it's a full day of drinking, and you start just wilding out. I mean, it's your reaction time gets slow, right? So it's one of those things where it's like, come on now, it's still gotta be safe about it, right? And we all out having fun and
Exactly.
stuff like that. But I don't know, is it worth blowing off a limb? You know what I'm saying? To show how cool you is, and I seen folks with some pretty fucked up injuries, man, and
Yeah.
you know,
Fireworks can be unforgiving, man.
unforgiving. I mean, like I said, it is what it is. I guess you live once, so do what you gotta do, but be safe out there. Be safe out there.
Exactly. Now, I wanted to ask you, because there's certain holidays, since we were talking about, having a few beverages. What do you think is the worst holiday to be on the roads? Do you think it's New Year's Eve, or do you think it's Fourth of July?
You said worse to be on the road.
Yeah, the Fourth of July or New Year's Eve?
That's a tough one. I think Fourth of July because I think, like you said, right. I think a lot of people start the day off early, right? And New Year's Eve, people probably getting prepped up, getting dressed up, or wherever you're going to for that. And so I think depending on what time you are on New Year's Eve, what I'm saying, that's when it gets worse once you start getting to New Year's Day. The Fourth of July, I mean, it just you more than likely started grilling, started sipping early, give you some of your liquid courage, and you're like, man, fuck it, I'm about to go out, check these fireworks out. You know what I'm saying? Then I don't know. I think the fourth good. I think fourth hands down has it, right? Because
No?
it can get kind of rough, right? And again, like I said, I think you got all day of drinking. Right? Yes, I think you do enjoy your day drinking for that, and for New Year's Eve you drink at nighttime. So New
I
Year's
understand.
Day may be the question, but New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, it's very tough running for Fourth of July. But Fourth of July, all that day drinking. I mean, you stock up the cooler for that. You outside all day, and then you got that heat, you got the sun, and then you decide to go out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's,
those
that's
are
a
the
dangerous
factors.
recipe.
Nah, man, I have to agree with you, man. I think Fourth of July is always rough, especially when you bouncing around, hitting different spots. New Year's Eve, I mean, you're right. Most people, have to work that day, so you're getting home in the evening, getting dressed to go out. And typically, New Year's Eve, you may hit one spot, two spots. If you're hitting three, you're a real soldier out there moving around. But you're right, being Fourth of July, you try to pop in everybody's event. Somebody may have something starting around two, you may swing there, and somewhere else about six, somewhere else around nine. It's constant. So I agree. I think that's the roughest day to be on the roads. And one of the things that I did during Fourth of July was sat down and watched the BET Awards. So I wanted to catch up on that. I saw a couple of clips on YouTube of the performances, and I said, all right, let me go ahead and block off 3 hours of my day for that because I ain't gonna lie, man. The BET Awards be like a 4 hour program, man. You really gotta set aside half a workday to sit down and check out the BET Awards. And I think one thing I came to the realization of is that I think I may be getting old because half the acts up there, man, I didn't know who folks were, man. I'm sitting here Googling, Shazamming, you know.
Damn
I'm trying to figure out what's what. Came across some new folks that add to the playlist, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm getting old or if I'm just out of touch with some of the new music. But that tribute they did for Diddy
Oh
or
yeah.
Puffy or Sean
Uh,
Combs or Brother Love. My man goes by many names now, but that was nice because they brought out some good acts.
yeah,
For that
yeah,
man's lifetime achievement award. But it was a very interesting show, to say the least. I will say, Taraji P. I like how she was able to navigate, some of the technical different difficulties out there. So she played it off well. But MC Light, I was trying to figure out how long MC Light has been the MC for the BET Awards because I could have sworn it's been at least maybe 10 or 15 years. And the day she
yeah.
steps away from it, that show's just not going to feel the same anymore.
Yeah. So what do you think about BET? It's crazy, even having that discussion, right? Like you said, is it going to be the same? Like, I heard that diss song by Lil Nas X about BET.
Mm,
It's not even a diss or any subliminals. He flat out just says fuck BET, and and I don't know, man. I think BET has changed. You know what I'm saying? This program from what it once was, right? You had in the
yeah,
basement. You had in the groove. You had, what I'm saying, 106 apart. I mean, you had just Rap City. I mean, you just had a number of shows. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And it kind of moved from that, and I think try to mirror some of the other stations. I know it's all part of what the Vicam. I think they all part of.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and so is it really Black Entertainment TV anymore, or what does it even stand for anymore? Right? I think they
Yeah.
try it, but I think they hit the mark because I don't think it's even really even ran by us anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I have, all kind of, feelings and mixed emotions, towards that because you're right, a lot of things changed when Viacom came to the picture because if I'm not mistaken, I want to say they had a lock on everything. They had a lock on, country music, television, MTV, VH1, BET. And I think that some of definitely, some of the programming switched up and the direction switched up. I mean, it still is a, wonderful platform for, Black artists, but you're right. I mean, there have been, some major differences out there with, what they were trying to do after Bob Johnson sold it.
Hmm.
I think that at the end of the day, they mean well, because I'm trying to remember the lady's name who runs it now, because it's actually been, I want to say two back-to-back presidents for BET, but oh no, man, it's it's still a platform, where we get to, recognize and salute, you know, our artists, and I know that in the past, well, not in the past, but as of lately, they start to diversify more. As you got like international artists and things of that nature on there, and it's giving them a platform. And I know one of the questions came up of when I guess a lot of big name stars were, skipping the BET Awards but going to the Grammys, and the conversation was, how are we not going to an event, that recognizes us, and why we put in so much emphasis and weight, on the Grammys and things of that nature. And I think both sides have valid arguments there, but there's been a
Go ahead,
change.
do you
No,
think
no, go
that
ahead.
it's getting to that point now to where the name of the game is, we always talk about folks still in our culture, right? One, even just selling it to them, right? I mean, I think we kind of gave them that key for them to do because now they own it, right? They control the narrative, right? And so we've seen
Hmm.
multiple people on that platform getting canceled because of things they've said, because again, they want to control that narrative, right? And a lot of people sit there and say, "Oh, you want to go mainstream." So what is mainstream, right? Is mainstream where others, you know, accept you, and that's when you think you made it, or is it, saying true to yourself and speaking your story,
Hmm.
your lyrics, and being true to yourself, right?
Okay.
So it
Okay.
makes you just think about like why do we continue to allow others control our narrative, our discussion, and then we turn around and get mad because someone controlled it. As I feel like a lot of times we give the others, that key to be able to control that.
I think that's is valid, and I mean, you got some of the I don't want to say going back to like the backpack rappers era, but I mean, you got some folks that purely do it for the love of the art and the love of the culture. And then you got other people who are, trying to, capitalize, off of it and, enrich, self for generation wealth and things of that nature. So I think it's both a positive and a negative. It just depends on how you look at it and, what the person is trying to get out of it. Because, I mean, going mainstream or going pop, of course, that's when the big endorsement deals come in. The checks look a little different, so it's a different world. I mean, when you look at, for instance, look at Flo Rida and Pitbull. Look
Mm-hmm.
at the music they made when they first came out compared to the music they've been making for like the last 10 years up to present.
The first wild part about that statement, before I cut you off real quick, I'm not gonna lie. I think even a couple of years back, I saw a Flow Rider at the show, and I was like, well, damn, he still, And again, like that, his music was just, I don't know, it just wasn't for us. And that's my opinion. You can feel some other kind of way, you know. If you got a problem, drop a comment. We can discuss it. But I stand by my opinion. It's just I can't even tell you if I ever download it. You know what I'm saying? Whether bought, download it, try to steal, try to whatever you want to call it. LimeWire back in the day, whatever. I don't think there was ever a time I clicked download or add the playlist, for a track. And that's my opinion. So, but again, I mean, he's out there still. He's still killing it. You know what I'm saying? He's making the money, and yeah, that's what he's doing. And so you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at his hustle.
Yeah,
It's just for my personal, likings, that's just not my cup of tea, right? And
yeah.
so you sit there and you think about, what is, what are they, or what are we doing it for now? Are we doing it for us? We doing it, just to make a dollar, because everyone got their own grind. You can't be mad at how people make money.
Yeah,
I've
exactly,
seen
exactly.
successful people. I respect that he is still out there grinding. He's staying to what he believes in making putting food on his table, feeding his family. So I can't be mad at that. But you won't see me click like or download, should I say, on that. And I think that's kind of where BET and just some other platforms are going to now, right? I think it's, and even like a lot of them, what I'm saying, they're showing just, you get into like these reality shows, right? And you think about all the
Oh man.
reality shows that are out there, You have the different, housewives of Dubai, I think, and all these other places that love to show drama, and unfortunately, that's what's selling, chaos.
Yeah,
And I think that's we need to get back to that point to where, we showing that, different image of us and showing what we do. Because even like when we had Av on on the show a while back, he definitely had to correct me. You know what I'm saying? He's nowhere near a battle rapper. He's a lyricist, right? And
yeah, yeah.
that's what you look for. You look for someone who's able to tell a story, with their words and putting it in a flow. And again, we all have our different wants, likes, and what we gravitate to. But I think at times we forget, or I don't forget, I think that everyone has their own different journey. I put it like that. You have your own journey, you have your own rhymes and reason as to what you do and why you do it. So I'm not gonna knock the hustle, but
Yeah.
everybody got their own cup of tea.
No, I agree. And I think that, you need a good mixture of programming. Everything can't be, the typical scripts of, the box that folks want to put us in. I think that we've gone too far in one direction, like you said, with highlighting the drama. Now, I'm not going to lie, one of my guilty pleasures is watching a little bit of drama on TV. I prefer to have my drama right there on the box where I can pause it, stop it,
Yeah,
rewind it, walk away from it. So it's a good outlet. I would rather observe the drama in a show versus, experience the drama in real life. But you gotta have that balance. And like I said, I think it's too far on the other side where, you know, we think, that's what we need more of, and it's getting pushed that we need more of that, and it kind of skews it because,
yeah.
and I mean, you travel, around the world, and a lot of programming is seen, around the world.
Hmm.
And if folks are just seeing one side of something, then that may affect, how they view, certain people, certain cultures. So it's a gift and a curse.
No, I agree. I agree, but you have to get the nail on the head, right? I think as long as we allow folks to keep showing one side of who they show us as, I think that's where we keep running into that issue as to this is why they think is how we act. Folks think we can be loud. Folks can think that. You have certain terms that folks try to use in the office. That are just another form of using the N word. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you're the angry black man, you're the angry black woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's just another way of saying that we don't know how to control ourselves. All you're doing is just kind of speaking up or, what I'm saying, defending yourself based off of maybe something that may have happened, an interaction, or something that you may not like, and you can't express yourself. Why? Because you're already mad. You're automatically going to be labeled as the angry one, and they're just associating you with, what they see on TV. And then when they see you in person, they're like, you come, they're abrasive, do all this. And I think, we continue to allow folks do that, and I was always told, like, you can be mad, but there's certain things you just gotta, unfortunately, you gotta control it, right? And that's how we're taught. We're taught to not to express yourself, because if you do, you can't do it in public, you can't do this, you can't do that, because you don't want to be labeled as that.
Yeah, yes, so many
But they do it
unwritten
all the
rules.
time now. There's an unwritten rule, but they do it all the time. And it's sad that a response when someone says they do it all the time, someone's response is like, well, if they jumped off a bridge, you jump too. I'm like, nah, but should I not be allowed to express how I feel and not be labeled?
Yeah, I mean that's valid, man. It's definitely a thin line, when you know I agree completely, with what you're saying, especially when it comes to, a lot of these reality shows. I swear, reality shows that, I mean, I think it all started back with the Real World on MTV. And I think somebody saw it and was like, hey, this is the blueprint, for TV going forward, and things have just, ballooned from there. Because I'm sitting here watching a commercial, and I remember, not to date myself, but it was a show out called the Love Boat, and occasionally, you're at the babysitter's house, it's on TV, you watching what they watch. As a kid, you don't have control of the remote. If you're
Yeah,
told to, sit here and, work on your homework or sit here and play with these Legos or Transformers or something, that's what you do, you know. And I saw a commercial for the Love Boat, and it was like, hey, yeah, the Love Boat dating show, tryouts coming soon. I'm like, how had these Bamas flip a sitcom and,
yeah,
turn into a reality show? And that's wild. And then College Hill is coming back out, like
yeah,
the celebrity edition.
yeah.
Now I say that, jokingly, but I'm not going to lie, because a part of me is a little interested and wants to, tune in and, kind of see, what's what on, College Hill, just because they got a whole cast of, different characters. And, it does pique my interest. So I know I may sound, a little hypocritical in my statement, but again, I enjoy watching that to a certain degree, but I don't want it to be all of my programming.
I mean, I think
I may
everyone
watch,
does.
one or two shows, but then the other eight shows I watch, it could be, four documentaries and something on sports and something else, so it's a good mixture. So I think it comes down to, even what we're ingesting, that, I mean, if you spend the majority of your time consuming all that stuff,
Mhm.
then
Yeah, and
that's not healthy. You got to have a good balance.
no, I agree, but I think, like you said, I think everyone, like you said, it's not to be contradictory or anything like that, but I think we all, to an extent, watch that reality. But like you said, right, you had a sitcom that's turned to a reality show, and then we need to even think about these reality shows. It's starting to get to the point to where I'm sure, say they film over 6 months, right? They are great at capturing chaos, right?
Yeah,
And that's what they focus on, right? And then it gets to the point to where to add extra spice, like love shows, right? Like Love Boat or Love Island or Hot Shit. I don't know, whatever you call it, whatever shit they got going on out there. They got, they make it more aggressive when they start bringing in like people's exes and like, all right, can you handle this temptation? This that, like with Temptation Island or some shit they call it, right?
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And you're looking at, they sit there and try to word it as, all right, let's see how strong your love is, this, that, and the third, when they're adding in, the unnecessary temptations in there when, that may not even be like real life, right? Or maybe we just don't see it. I don't know. But, I
yeah.
think that, that's their whole goal is to, let me see how chaotic we can make this happen, to build our ratings because we love to see chaos.
Yeah, and I think you just touched on it, man. It's all the ratings. So, man, we're constantly, supporting, and retweeting and reposting and, putting up clips and liking the clips and viewing the clips of, certain things. Then, a lot of it falls on the consumer, because we're helping them push the narrative. And I know that now, I'm not knocking, love and hip hop or anything, but I know that several individuals who've been on there had mentioned that that they tried to put them in those situations and try to create that chaos because I mean they know that's what sells. And it's I think that's the dark side to reality TV. But it's I don't know, man. I think reality TV is definitely here to stay. I don't see an end in sight for reality TV and the chaos. I think it's just a matter of you gotta take things in doses. With too much of anything can be a bad thing.
Facts, facts, facts. And then I think when it gets down to it, but I also think it's starting to be ingrained into our mind, right? And we start thinking about social media, we start thinking about that. You like to see the glam and the glitz, you like to see people getting hurt, which gets the most likes. You like seeing, you even got shows where people are getting hurt, right? It's no longer, America's funniest home videos. It's now, let me see how far you can fall or see if you can jump off a roof and make it into a pool, you know what I'm saying? Or bust
Yeah,
your shit on a rail while you're skating down it or some shit like that, right? And
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like people like to see other people hurt, you know, and it's wild, man. It's unfortunate. That's what gets the love and the likes and the clicks.
Yeah, man. This is the world we're living in, man. It's crazy, but I mean, you're absolutely correct.
Well, that's where it is. Let me ask a question too, right? So I was watching again a reality show, right? And they were focusing on like a group of men that went out of town or whatever, right? And when they went out of town, obviously there was some history because they went out of town before, and there was like rumors of shit that happened, right? I mean, guys trips and
Right.
girls trips. I don't give a fuck what no one says. Guys trips and girls trips. They are what they are. I may get in trouble for what I'm about to say. No, I'm not gonna break the guy code. You know what I'm saying? But when girls have conversations, they talk about what they talk about. Guys talk what they talk about, right?
Yeah.
And so, there's this. They went on this trip or whatever, and it was just crazy because when they got back, they got like the third degree, right? And the show was just focusing on them getting the third degree from their wives. One was single, and the rest of them were married. No, I can't lie. The single dude definitely, he was out of pocket. He was just doing unnecessary shit, knowing that it's being recorded, knowing it's, what I'm saying, that it's going to get back. And, they always do these reunions at the end, you know what I'm saying? And
The reunion.
the reunions, all it does is reclip everything that was said or, showing the show that they may not have seen. And so they watch it live, you know. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. When you think about it, right? And you go on a guy's trip, when you come back, do you expect to get the third degree from your other half?
No, no, I don't think so. I think that, some general questions of, what happened, what'd you do, where'd you go, that sort of stuff. Because, I mean, unless you're on a remote island, while you're away, and this can be, guys or females, there's some communication, back to your partner. Hey, what's up? I'm good. We're about to go to breakfast. Or, hey, we're going to such and such today. I mean, there's something. So a lot of that has already, kind of been addressed and nipped in the bud. And, I mean, it could be a couple other questions, but I don't think anything too severe to the third degree. Because, I mean, if you're with this individual, you trust this individual.
Right.
You trust a person until you can't trust a person.
Right.
So if you're sitting here looking for, a full rundown and itinerary and, play by play of exactly everywhere you went, then I kind of think you're doing too much. And that goes both ways,
Right.
because I know it's some dudes who be pressing a girl out, So, I mean, like I said, it goes both ways. But if you got to give somebody the third degree, man, it's time to start taking a look at your relationship, your situation, to see if it is where it needs to be. Because I think I think that's out of bounds.
I agree. And I think when you start doing that third degree, I think that shows some insecurity in yourself, but it also shows some insecurity, or not even insecurity, but insecurity, but it also shows as to, I think it kind of raises some red flags in the sense that, like, what is that individual doing? Why are they so insecure? Is it something like, they look at themselves in the mirror and thinking that someone else is doing the same thing?
Yeah,
Whatever, right? And so just I gotta have that trust because if you know you ain't doing nothing, I mean, what I'm saying, you should be straight, and I even think it gets back down to like when you go out of the country or whatever, right? And you go to certain places, there's certain cities, we'll talk to the fellas like, all right, let's plan this trip here. And they're like, nah, I can't go because I'm not even trying to have that discussion. And it'd be like, well, two things, right? Or a couple things, right? You're like, all right, so what did you do to make this, and what did you do to make them or her feel that, they can't trust you if you go here, right?
yeah,
Or, we talk about the strip club all the time, right? And it's people all got their things. Dudes got strip club, females got brunches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes you think of like, damn, you're not even allowed to go to a strip club. I mean, you're not doing nothing. Now, if you don't have the funds to go, you shouldn't be going. You know what I'm saying? And just
yeah,
throwing money
yeah,
around. So that could be one thing. But if your significant other's worried about you, touching, another, chick or whatever, or throwing ones at her or whatever. We all got eyes. I don't care what no one says, right? We all got eyes. We all can see, and that at the end of the day, it's like you should have that foundation that's strong enough. And like you said, right, if you don't feel that you can trust that person, I think you should really do some deep reflecting on you, and then what role you play in the relationship. Because if you keep home
Nah,
tight, home gonna be tight.
exactly, exactly. But I mean that show is wild though, and the dude who was cutting up. I mean, part of me is like, if this dude is single, you really can't, fault him for his actions because
Right.
he doesn't have anybody to report to, or like they say, who's gonna check me, So I mean, he's doing his thing. As long as his thing doesn't implicate somebody else, it's all good in my book. But with things being recorded though, there should have been, a little bit of balance because one of the things is, his actions can now make that whole group look guilty. They could be looking at him like, oh, he's doing this. Then I know that when y'all go out, y'all are doing that and put doubt in somebody's mind. But again, it comes back down to like we said, the trust factor. That
Yeah.
this individual is an individual, a single individual, and they can do whatever they want. I'm gonna sit over here and smoke my hookah and have my beverage, and I'm chilling. I can't go get him and be like, hey, dog, don't do that because again, this man's free. But that just seems like a wild show, though.
Nah, it is, and it is a wild show. But it's like you said, he's single, right? And I will sit there and say you do got to be mindful of the company you keep, right? Because hopefully your circle tries to make sure everyone is straight and respect what you got going on.
Yeah,
Like you said, like I ain't checking for you. You know what I'm saying? You do what you gotta do. Whoop de whoop. I'm gonna do me, whoop de whoop, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta protect my home. You protect your space, and we good. But doesn't mean you can't just all be in the same space. So what he did was he had this like wine tasting or whatever, right? And it's supposed to be a guy's trip, but the wine tasting ended up being the fellas, and then it was like he just had like a slew of just women in that thing,
mm,
right? So it was like 40 minutes,
mm,
20 or 30.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he even said it, like he was intentional. It was like, yeah, I just want to see how they would act. And he'd be like, come on, dog, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why would you even try to set folks up? But again, me as an
Yeah,
individual, if I was in that scenario, you know, you gotta maintain your composure and act like you've been there before, right? And
exactly.
you can't just be one of them chasers. You gotta just know where you at, you know what you need to protect, and that's if you're willing to protect it. If you're not, then you should just let that other individual go and be single then if you can't control yourself out there.
No, I agree. I agree. And it's something else, wild that I saw this week that I wanted to get your take on. There is a Rhode Island senator who
Yeah.
made an ad campaign or a video. I don't even want to call it an ad campaign. Put out a video of her on her head twerking in a bathing suit.
Or to vote.
Yes. Now, I want to ask you your opinion on how her message was delivered. Do you think it was appropriate, inappropriate? Do you think it's a sign of the times? What is your take on that?
I don't know what kind of times we're in right now. There's so much on that. I mean, we're talking about how they're trying to change curriculums in the school and all this other stuff. We talk about inclusivity and all this other stuff. And I don't know, man. But I think for this particular story here, I feel that I think you kind of lose the messaging and the twerking, right? The twerking, because we're just talking about the twerking, but not really what their agenda is, right? And so you lose that in the messaging. And I'll be honest,
Hmm.
like I said, men are visual, right? So Yeah, but that's all you think about is just the twerking part of it. But you want to see where the mind's at as to how you're going to improve, our state,
Yeah.
our community, our neighborhood, our schooling, and the finances of it, right? And where our taxes are going. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if
Yeah.
you twerking or not. Like that has nothing to do with making sure that my taxes are good, or what I'm saying, nothing to do with making sure that you know my school systems, are being improved, and you know how to allot the money properly. How you allocating where the money goes and distributing it there, doing that and that. But you over here twerking, so I think you just lose the messaging in there. Unfortunately, that's what people are going to talk about. They're going to talk about the twerking and not talk about your agenda. You got to figure out how you're going to either recover from that, or unfortunately, that's you may get a sponsorship in bathing suits and twerking and music or whatever. But outside of that, you got to be mindful as to what message you're putting out there, because once it's out there, and that's what you think about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not sure of the angle she was going for. No pun intended. I
Yeah,
know that. I know that twerking has become a part of the culture. I mean, just watching the award show, I can probably count on almost two hands. How many of the performers added a twerk to their performance. But I do think it's a time and place for everything.
yeah, and I
And
think when you perform a
yeah,
song, you can twerk, right? I mean, you perform a song, that's
yeah,
what you're
yeah.
doing. But if I'm running for a seat at the big table, what I'm saying, it's like, all right, are you just here for the entertainment, or are you here to make some change?
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
know?
mean, it was interesting. I wasn't expecting to wake up to that being a story, and the way it got in the news media and how they just ran with it. And I mean, anything you do in this world, you know everybody has an opinion. Whether it's a good opinion, bad opinion. But I don't know, man. It just makes me think of, like the next generation, coming up. That is this gonna start to become, the norm? I mean, the politics landscape is already, taking a wild left turn, to who can say the wildest thing and get the most clicks.
Yeah,
To the point, like you're saying, that the messaging, gets lost. And I really don't see a difference between the individual, twerking an ad campaign and somebody just saying something reckless.
yeah,
To me, that they're both one and the same. Because again, it goes back to your messaging, what you stand for, what you're going to do for the people, and that aspect of it. So that's why I say, I have mixed feelings towards it because, yeah, they got their message out a different way, but it's not too far removed, from what other individuals are doing with their words.
yeah.
Theirs just had more of a visual aspect to
Aspect, I get it.
it. You
I
peeped
think
that,
good
huh?
play, good play on word, good play on word. Nah, man, I hear you on that. I definitely hear you on that, and I think, like you said, I think it all depends on what your message is trying to be. So, time and place for everything. I think we probably could have done better on that one. You know, especially what I'm saying, for such a powerful seat. It's you being the voice of the people, right? And right now, your voice of the people is twerk better, twerk harder. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where that's at.
I just want to know who was in the room when this idea came up. Who was sitting there backing it like, hey, this is a great idea. Hey, we're going to use this location here.
Know your
Because
circle.
exactly. It had to be, a wild conversation. Even, post production, the edits, going into the whole thing that all the way through to the time that the thing got posted, there were so many opportunities where someone could have stepped in and was like, yeah, I think that maybe this is going in the wrong direction, but nobody, Nobody stepped up, man. Nobody came forward.
And that's why I say you got to choose your circle wisely, right? Because someone in that group should have been the voice of reason and be like, all right, I think it's funny. It's like, let's table that. All right, let's get back down to business kind of situation, right? And let's focus on what's, the matter at hand, right? And I think that
Exactly.
someone in that room, from like you said, from conception to execution to uploading, someone in that process and that flow chart should have figured out like, nah,
Yeah.
let's go back to the drawing board to figure out what's next.
Oh man. So what else you got this week?
I know it has been crazy. Like I say, I think it's I don't know. I've been scrolling through, man, and you had that mass shooting in Chicago on the 4th. Definitely condolences out to wounded, those who passed, those who were just in
Indeed.
attendance. Kids was out there.
Yeah.
It's just sad. I've seen, and I'm not trying to even go down this rabbit hole, but just the way society is right now, these mass shootings again, like it's becoming too common, right? Where
Yeah.
you want to go to the grocery store, you want to enjoy some family time, or and I just want to make sure we also put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Juneteenth is the real Independence Day, but that's another conversation, right? But no, I just think that it's just I don't know. I just think it's just wild. It's a lot going on out here.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and I think it's just sad. Man. It's just sad going on. You got Brittany Garner sitting there. She had to write a letter to Biden. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just for it to have to get to that point, I think it's sad that we're taking this long to get one of our own back. Especially someone who's such a powerful player in their community. It's just sad. I do know one thing though. I saw that article about people changing the curriculum of sex ed.
Mm.
I always thought sex ed was just talking about all the diseases out there.
Mm.
It kind of taught you certain things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But never really got into like that. But now I know that we're getting into a whole different kind of community and I know we're talking about people can choose what they want to be, what their pronouns should be. We are all individuals, but I never thought that sex ed included that. Because I don't never remember in sex ed that they were like, even, back when, dating myself, they talked about man and woman belong together type of thing. But now they're like changing the curriculum of sex ed of how like anyone can be with anyone. I thought it was more about just making sure you're safe, making sure that, you understand the diseases out here, making sure you understand, I don't say consequences, but, I would sit there and say
Yeah.
your actions, always something comes out of your actions, right? And so,
Okay.
if you're in high school or, you're young and, you're not thinking about it, not understanding the importance of condoms or whatever that may have been, protecting your body, yourself, bring someone in the world, maybe when you're not financially or just mentally ready, and you have so much more of your life to live, and nothing's even wrong with, those who had kids when they were young,
Yeah.
because I've seen some phenomenal people, make it out of the mud, what I'm saying, doing whatever they had to do and been phenomenal, been
Exactly.
amazing people in life. So nothing wrong with that. But I never knew it really got down to like this gender thing, and I think we just forcing it so much. Like you're forcing it down people's throat. And it's just like, just let fucking people live. It's just do what you want to do, which is fine. Live your life, do what you are, do what you want to be, however you identify yourself. That is perfectly fine. I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
You are willing to live your truth, no matter what someone else may say, you know, or think about you. And I respect the shit out of that.
Yeah.
And that is your life. But I don't think you should, I also don't think you should force it down people's throat either, though. You know, because if they don't feel comfortable with it, then, you know, it's like, you know, when you can't make everyone happy, but when you're, you know, when one group's not satisfied, someone else is going to be unsatisfied, right? When it's like,
Yeah.
I thought I was talking about being, you know, including everyone in that discussion, but now it's just taking, I think it's kind of going far as to like, you know, pushing that subject down your throat. And that's all. Again, I thought sex ed was just protect yourself. These are different diseases, you know. You know, these are the ones that can't be cured. These are the ones that can be cured, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Unfortunately, I just can't get with it. I just can't get with the curriculum part of it. You know, I think that's a discussion that you need to have with yourself. You know, your close circle that love you, that care about you, that want to see the best for you, that just want to see you happy. If that's to make you happy, rock the fuck out.
No, I mean, I agree. You know, I think, you know, societal norms, you know, and how things are being pushed at people. You know, and I agree with you. You know, a 1,000%. You know, that to each his own. You know, live your life, live in your truth. You know, I also think that, you know, everything's not up for debate. I mean, there's so many other issues and challenges that could be discussed and, you know, worked out and resolved that I don't know. I think that, you know, a lot of times we spend a large amount of time, you know, arguing, debating, and discussing, you know, the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like I said, there's so much more that needs to be addressed. You know, what I mean, so many more pressing issues, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, with this one, you know, I'm kind of just taking a back seat and observing because when I look at the to-do list, you know, there are like at least 10 other major issues at minimum
A minimum.
that keep getting swept under the rug that
Mm-hmm.
need to be addressed and dealt with.
Yeah, like why don't you teach kids how to fucking be financially savvy, right? Why don't you teach kids, you know, the importance of interest, right? And you know, because you get, you know, in college, that's when kids, you know, get their first credit card. You know what I'm saying? They thrive on kids in college, right? Because they really ain't got no credit.
Mm,
They probably got their social. They're 18 now. They can sign their own document, own shit. You know, but they don't understand the true concept of interest. So then they start going
yeah,
down that rabbit hole of bad credit, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But you sit here forcing folks on a personal opinion when they should be able to choose what they want to do with their body, you know, as opposed to, you know, teaching them, you know, how you can be financially responsible and how you can, you know, accelerate your life, just making sure that your credit and shit is right. But we focusing on, you know, using certain words that are offensive, going to jail for shit like that now. We're talking about this, that, and the third. There's just a million other fucking things we need to teach our youth, and that's one of those things that where I think should be a personal opinion and not some. You got to go to school, right? So you know what I'm saying. You gonna make them sit there for 45 minutes, or if you have block period, an hour and 15, you gonna make them sit there. You know, if that's not what they're into, but you just forced them in that as opposed to teaching them another life lesson. You know.
and I think you were spot on, especially with you know, with the credit cards. 'Cause I remember, you know, walking around, you know, Morgan, and it's like, you know, they would be out there advertising like, "Hey, man, you sign up right here. You know, we'll give you this little basketball hoop that you can play while you're on the toilet." Just things to, you know, rope you in, and you're right because, you know, some people can those simple mistakes that they make at 18, you know, can haunt them, you know, for another 20 years. You know, because credit is key, and if you got jacked up credit, man, you can't get a job, you can't get a house, you can't get a car. I mean, there's so many life altering events that come as a result of, you know, bad credit. And
Signature, yeah. You know, I remember shit. I remember when I was in school, dog. I remember I don't know. I called for my bank account or my balance in my bank account, and they were like, "Which one do you want to know? Your checking, your saving, or your credit card balance?" I was like, "What the fuck? I got no credit card. I had no credit card, right?" And so, I had to do some research on that. Come to find out, there was like someone on campus. I guess I signed a document and I had a credit card in my name. Never been touched. And it was actually like, it was a credit line for like, I don't know, it was a credit line for, I don't know, it was open for like 6 months. I'm sitting there like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? How do I have
yeah,
a credit card? I never applied for one, never asked for one, but I had it. And then me being a kid and, not the smartest one on that forefront of like, yeah, I worked in a school, so what I had, I was making what minimum wage back then was like $6, I was working at a rental car spot washing cars. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
yeah,
shit, man, the fella's trying to go, man, hey, I got this car. What y'all trying to do? Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? And then realize I
yeah,
gotta pay this shit back. You know what I'm saying? The pack of gum was $1.35. Now I'm paying $2.75 on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're paying it
Just
back at
dumb
a, at a,
shit.
at a premium. Yeah, no, I
It's
agree
just a
with you.
fucking experiment. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? So I just think life lessons like that are key, man. I think just having
Yeah,
some. I think we just really need to, you know, scale it back and really hone in as to what would really be helpful for this society. And let folks make their decision what they want to do with their bodies. It's their body, their choice. And I think that everyone can. That's why we're put on this earth. We're here to make our own choices.
yeah,
And it's not my decision to whether to decide whether your choice is a good or bad one. That's not my calling. That's not my purpose. That's not my
yeah.
place.
Nah, man, you're right, man. You're right. Well, I know you see the sun coming up over my shoulder, so that means it's almost time to get out of here this week, man. So, what you got going on this weekend?
Well, shit, I'm about to be in the beach. Get some sand on my toes. We're gonna sit back. The little one, she gonna be out with us. So it's gonna be a good little time. Just looking forward to that, and just just regrouping, just chilling out, going to this wedding. So looking forward to that. Definitely be on the lookout. There'll be some posts out there. Definitely just chime in and yeah, man, we'll just show you what time it is.
Man, I can dig it, man. Don't be out there with no hoochie daddy shorts on the beach, man. Make sure them shorts touching your knee, man.
So I'm glad you brought that up, right? So we talk about the Zucci short thing, right? I remember, so I'm just giving this disclaimer, right? There is a difference between Gucci shorts when you're standing up straight and when you're sitting down, right? So, when you're sitting down, sometimes your shorts kind of rise up above your knee or whatever, right? But I feel that I get that pass as long as it touches the very top part of the knee where it, starts where it bends at. When standing up straight. So I know there's a very fine line. There's a great line right there. But
Very fine line.
man, I got some shit yesterday, and this girl at the register was like, "Yeah, the young shorts are in now." No, they're fucking not.
Mmm.
Not on my watch. All right,
Mmm.
you can keep those. So I tried them on. I feel comfortable in my skin. They touch where the knee bends at. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hey, man, as long as you are comfortable in your skin, that's all that matters. Because this weekend, I know the host of characters that are going to be in attendance. So I have the utmost confidence that if you're out here breaking rules, that there will be photographic, documented evidence of said such event. So I'm just going to just sit back out here in the desert and just wait for the news feed to update.
But you know, there is that rule of thumb, the guy code. You go out on vacations, you know what I'm saying? No pictures taken, so we be all right, you know what I'm saying? Cameras down, everyone just chilling, enjoy it, be in the present.
No, that's true, but this event is going to have plus ones there that don't necessarily adhere to the guide codes. You know what I mean? Folks love to snap pictures and create memories and share with the world. So accidentally, it could be quite possible that, something is captured. So all I'm gonna say to you, man, is keep your head on the swivel and stay safe out there.
Keep your head on the swivel, I keep your head on the swivel. Nah,
Don't
listen,
get caught slipping, man.
for sure. What you got going on out there, though?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Got a 4-day weekend, coming up. So this week, last week was the party week. Hosted a shisha event, went to a couple of kickbacks. So this weekend is all about adulting. It's all about paying bills, grocery shopping, laundry. All that fun stuff. Since I got to work a full week next week, definitely not gonna go too hard this weekend. May step out, Thursday night or Friday. It's a little reggae event, so may pass through there. But that's about it though, man. Just trying to stay consistent, in the gym, stay away from these burgers out here, man. Hey, when you come out here, man, I got one of the you know what? I was gonna say I got the best, burger spot for you, but I know you're not a consumer of beef, but they do have a wild chicken sandwich though. Chicken sandwich, you can get a double, and I guarantee that sandwich will sit you down. That's one of our lunch spots, once a week. So once a week, I'm getting my double burger, so definitely, staying active with the cardio, so that burger doesn't stick with me, man. But that's about it on this side, man.
That's what's up.
Doing some adulting. Doing some
There we go.
adulting, man.
Adulting.
That's it. That's it. Well, hey, before we get out of here, once again, shout out to Shisha to you. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can follow us on Twitter at In The Bowl Pod. I know that we always say something that invokes, conversation. So if you have an opinion on the matter, definitely, chime in and let us know your thoughts. We are two highly opinionated individuals, but we also respect and love to hear the opinions of others. So definitely hit us up in the comments. And last but not least, don't forget to keep those hookahs clean after every use. Wash it out so it's ready for the next go around. So if you have a guest that comes over, you're ready to fire that thing up. If you guys sit here and clean and do all this prep, you're killing the mood. You're killing the moment. So always make sure you're ready.
Right.
So until next week, we appreciate you.
For sure. And I'll do that as a little quick thing. Sisha did just hit me up telling me about they got a pop-up coming up. So be on the lookout for that. And like you said in closing, like always, click like and subscribe.
Hustle 5 Ways Radio.